Thank you very much. My German is not so good, so I will speak in English. Let me begin with a question. Can we study both causality and meaning in the universe? Are they mutually exclusive, or can they be carried on together at the same time? In our age, we have two opposite answers to this question. One answer is that either you study causal relations in the nature, or you study meaning of nature. These are mutually exclusive. You cannot do both at the same time. The other answer is that you can study both causal relations in the nature. You can produce scientific explanations by figuring out causal relations in the nature, and at the same time study the meaning of the nature. So the second answer is the answer Said Nursi defended. But I cannot say that Said Nursi was the only person who defended this view, because this view is a traditional view in Islam, and not only in Islam but also in other religions and traditional cultures. The traditional cultures ranging from China to Latin America, Africa, Europe, Asia, everywhere, they were all interested in the meaning of nature. Only with the rise of positivism, the academics, the scholars, started thinking that we cannot carry on both at the same time, and interest in the meaning of nature may hinder or block our scientific study in exploring causal relations in the nature. So we have to place the work of Said Nursi and the thought of Said Nursi in this context, so that we can understand him and his work in a better manner. I will specifically address two questions within this context. What did Said Nursi do and why? What did Said Nursi do and why did he do what he did? And my answer, I will not let you wait until the end of my talk. I will give the answer at the outset. He was trying to recharge nature, human body, and social relations with meaning. And he was doing this in opposition to the positivist project to eliminate, to eradicate the meaning of nature. The eradication of meaning of the nature was observed by many sociologists of science. One of them is Max Weber. He called this disenchantment of the world. Disenchantment of the world. So he observed that modern people who adopt the positivist scientific view are no longer interested in the meaning of nature. They are interested only in the causal relations between objects or the natural causes. But my interest is, was there any reaction on the traditional side to this disenchantment of the world? Or, like everyone, happily accepted this process of disenchantment? I found out that there was resistance against the disenchantment of the world, and in the Islamic culture, of course, there is the Christian side of the story as well. My talk is about the Islamic side. So Shah Waliullah Dehlavi from India, he was trying to defend the meaning of nature. Ibrahim Hakkı Erzurumi, he was also trying to recharge the world with the meaning. And one of the last examples is Said Nursi. So Said Nursi should be placed within this context and within this line of thinkers. What's common to these thinkers is that they did not refuse science per se. They were not against science. They were not against causal explanation. They were not against about exploring the relations between the natural forces. But they were against eliminating or refusing the meaning of nature, the meaning of the world. So they were of the conviction that both the causal study of nature, the scientific study of nature, and the interpretive, hermeneutic study of nature can be carried on together. So this second effort, this second activity is what I call semiotics of nature. Semiotics of nature, in the sense that these thinkers saw all objects in nature as signs. They were all signs, indicating a meaning. And they all commonly believed that God gave a semiotic function to the objects in the world. And this semiotic function is the natural meaning charged by the Creator to the objects in the nature. That they indicate the existence of their Creator. All objects in the world, in the nature, are signs for the Creator. So that's the reason why I call this project Semiotics of Nature. Let me ask you a question. What's a rose? What's a rose? Botanic answers this question. Rose is a plant. But is rose just a plant? If it's only a plant, why do lovers give each other roses? So it's not just a plant, it's something more. You know, it carries another meaning, another symbolism. And this symbolism cannot be studied by botany. You have to have another discipline to study. This is what I call semiotics of nature. Same thing. What's a human being? Medicine or anatomy or biology, they study a human being. But the answers they give focus only on the material side of it, and they are not equipped to explore the meaning of human body. But the traditional answer for the human, to what's human, is that human being is image of God, microcosm, and the small universe. So, and these aspects cannot be studied by the modern science that we have. Same thing with like what's world, what's life. I mean, there is a scientific answer based on the causal explanations, but these answers are not sufficient for our minds. We want something more. So this project can be called linguistification of nature or linguistification of the world. If you read Habermas's book, Communicative Action, in his introduction he says that his project is linguistification of social theory. But the scholars, the scientists in our time, they are interested in linguistification of society and seeing society as a text, but none of them is interested presently in seeing nature as a text from the theoretical perspective. However, the traditional cultures, they all linguistified the nature, the world, because they saw the world as a book. So the image of nature as a book is a common image to the traditional cultures, and Said Nursi tried to defend this approach to nature vis-à-vis the positivist understanding of the nature. This kind of effort requires a multiplex ontology, seeing the world as multiple levels of existence. There is a material level of existence where causal relations exist, but also there is an interpretive level in the nature. So this accepts a multiplex, a multiple level of ontology. Same way, it accepts that there is a multiple levels of epistemology, a multiplex epistemology. There is scientific knowledge based on causal relations, and there is interpretive knowledge based on deciphering the signs in the nature. And these two types of knowledge, they don't exclude each other. Instead, they complement each other, and they should be carried. The study of both levels should be carried together. And of course, they have different methods to study these two levels of existence and to produce these two types of knowledge. And this can be called as multiplex methodology. And this produces, of course, a multiplex concept of truth. Multiple levels of truth which complement each other without excluding each other. In the traditional Islamic philosophy, the terms used for these were Maratib al-Wujud, multiplex ontology, and Maratib al-Ulum, multiplex epistemology, and Maratib al-Usul, multiplex methodology, and Maratib al-Haqa'iq. Maratib al-Haqa'iq, multiplex truth, the concept of multiplex truth. So you may think this is similar to postmodern thinking of the world, but it is not, because there is an important difference. This view, this multiplex view of the world, knowledge, truth, method, does not exclude the possibility of an absolute truth. Absolute truth constitutes one level, and relative truth constitutes another level. Doesn't say everything is relative.